Enfin, I've just received a phone call from our doctor's surgery and booking our appointments for our booster. There's a website called DocLib where you can go on and book your rendezvous with doctors or for injections, boosters, vaccines, whatever. And I've been going on and off of there for several weeks, and there's never been an appointment. We've been on the list for the doctor for about 3 weeks now, but not heard anything and beginning to get a bit concerned because I'm sort of concerned. I'm not as concerned as I was a year ago for my vaccine or whatever. I feel less concerned with the things I'm reading about Omicron. Um, but anyway, we're sort of hoping to get a booster because what I understand is that our previous vaccinations will possibly have lost some efficacy against this particular variant. Anyway, boosters booked for both of us for the 31st of December, New Year's Eve, which I'm not really bothered about whether it's New Year's Eve or Christmas Day. It's like whatever, it's a day, and I'd like to have the booster. I think we'd both like to have the booster. So that's good. I'm quite pleased about that. And I was thinking about masks earlier and thinking about resistance and thinking about how hard it is when you feel resistant towards something that you never ever adapt to it, you never ever get used to it, you never ever reach a point of comfort with it. And I wonder whether that's what has happened for many people in those countries where they just don't get on and just put a fucking mask on. Particularly the UA and the UK and the USA, where our human rights and it's against my la la la, and I shouldn't have to wear a mask, and why should I, and the whole resistance, and how hard it is to hang on to and maintain resistance. How is that, how good is that for your health, for your mental health and your physical health, because you're using energy to resist. And because I was thinking about how easy it is for me to wear a mask now. Back in March last year, I can remember going into my pharmacy to pick up my prescription, and talking to the assistant behind the counter, and she'd got a mask on and I'd got a mask on, and I'm always struggling because of my glasses, so I often steamed up, can't see a thing. And she looked really pissed off, and I said to her, "It's really hard, isn't it?" And she said yes. And of course, she was having to wear the mask all day long while she was working. I only had to put the mask on when I got out of my car and went into the pharmacy, and could take it off when I came back out. And I was thinking about that and thinking it seemed so hard back then, and now it doesn't. And I don't think that's just for me. I think that that's for most of the people that I encounter in my country, that we put masks on to go into shops, and many of us have carried on wearing masks even at times when it's not been obligatoire. And in Japan, they wear masks all the time to deal with the pollution, and I believe that's what they wear it for. Maybe they do wear it for something else, but Japan, they've been wearing masks for years, and I can't imagine that I won't stop wearing a mask over the next year or two. I really can't imagine it. I might be wrong. I might feel comfortable going out and going into shops and going into places where people are coughing and sneezing and shouting and singing, and I might feel comfortable doing that, but I can't imagine I will. I'm much more aware of what's going on around me. I'm much more aware of when people are coughing, and I watched somebody the other day cough into their hand, and I thought, God, where have you been for the last 2 years? What planet were you on? Did you miss the memo about sneezing or coughing into your arm? And and people shaking hands after somebody's coughed into their hand, they touch the door handle that you're about to touch, they touch, you go to the bank, you go to the hole in the wall, and you touch the numbers, and that person before you coughed all over. all of that stuff. I won't ever forget that. And I've been blind to that up until March 20. No, I wasn't. I wasn't blind to it. I was not quite as blind to it, because I knew that with the steroids that I've now been on for coming up for 6 years, that my immune system is vulnerable. So I haven't been blind to it, but I'm much more aware of it now. So yeah, you know, I'm going to say that resistance is futile thing, which is from what? It's one of the Star Trek series, and the one with Luke Picard in it, and I can't remember which one it is now. But it comes from that, you know, the Borg. Resistance is futile. But I do wonder how much energy people are having to use to, you know, to not have to wear a mask, when easily it would just be easier to put a mask on, get yourself sorted, stop expecting to go into a pub all of the time, stop expecting for Christmas to be back to what it was pre-pandemic, and think about how you can adapt and get around it, and do what's best and keep your family healthy, because that's what you should be using your energy for, not fighting, but looking at what you can do as an individual to take care of your family and yourself, and ultimately those that come into contact with you. And I don't see that happening. God knows what is happening in the UK now. I didn't even look to see what Doris Bronson was doing, sitting at a table talking about, you know, how serious it is and whatever, but still not actually saying, you must do this and you must do that. I'm sure the pubs are still going to be open at the moment, and, you know, restaurants, and you can do this and you can do that, but you can't do this and you can't do that. But it doesn't work, because it just doesn't work. You know, putting people together, bringing them into close proximity to each other, is going to cause infection. And this, it sounds like, is, I hate this word. I don't know why I hate it, but this particular variant is growing exponentially. And I think I saw Dr. Campbell talking about the R number being about 4, because it is just doubling and doubling and doubling so quickly, that it's rife. And I've been looking at the numbers on Our World in Data, and whereas France has always, for many months, has sat 200 or more below the UK in terms of cases per million, it's now up there with the UK. But I think that that's the cities, and I'm hoping that where we are, which is quite rural, and will keep us relatively protected. Having said that, Mark's just gone off to art, and you're sort of, you know that the people that you're in art with, they are part of your bubble, but who is in their bubble, and what have they been doing in the week in between you seeing them? And when I go to art on Thursday, I try not to think about that, because I'm over thinking about that now. I think that I do want to have that small part of my social life, because it is the only bit of my social life, because we don't really go out much. I want that small part to be normal. So I'd have to be hearing horror stories, local horror stories, before I start putting a mask on when I go to art. But otherwise, we're doing what we did. We're doing what we did since March 2020. We're wearing a mask all the time. We clean our hands all the time. If we touch, come out of a shop, we clean our hands. If we touch things in, we clean our hands. It's just what we do. I know somebody said some time back, asked me, why are you wearing a mask in your profile? It's a sign of oppression. So apart from him, what do you think about wearing a mask, and why would you not protect yourself, protect your loved ones? If you care about the people around you, why are you not protecting them? Or if you don't believe in masks, why don't you believe that maybe they work? I'd do anything to care about my loved one. I'd do anything to protect my loved one. So if that might work, I will use it anyway, just in case. Why would you not do that? Same with vaccination. Why would you not do that? To not have to watch a loved one suffering. I really, or your children. Why would you put your children at risk by not getting yourself vaccinated? Why would you put your grandchildren at risk by not getting vaccinated? I don't understand it. I really don't understand that me thing. My human rights, it's my right. I don't understand it. This is about everybody. This isn't just about you. You're not the universe doesn't center around you, and maybe, take care of your loved ones. Oh, anyway, better not say any more. And I'll see you another time.